Capriati, she had a very good year last year, and things are continuing.
Well, Cliff, for the first time in 7 years, Jennifer Capriati became a force again on the WTA Tour. She won 2 tournaments last year, and right now is just outside the top 20 in the world, trying to get back there and maybe even higher, like top 10.
So in her effort to take out the number 14 seed, Dominique van Roost, in the first set, she was terrific.
She was pretty good. Capriati lost her opening service game and then rolled away 6 straight games in a row to take that set easily, 6-1.
In the second set, Dominique van Roost from Belgium, who has been very successful here, quarterfinalist twice at the Australian, made her move.
Well, Van Roost, although she's not that tall and big, she certainly has some heavy ground strokes, and they started to work in the second set. Van Roost jumped out to a 4-1, 5-2 lead. A little hiccup there, got back to 5-4 before she broke Capriati's serve to take the second set, 6-4.
So Jennifer Capriati, in an effort to make her comeback against Dominique van Roost, found herself in a position where, having lost the second set, she had to make her move and make it in a hurry in set 3. We're going to take a break now, and when we come back, we will show you set 3 of Dominique van Roost and Jennifer Capriati. Full stories at the Australian Open. This is the Laver Arena, day 3, second to last match of the day. Dominique van Roost and Jennifer Capriati. First game, third set. My partner, Pam Shriver, played on the WTA Tour for 15, 20...
Somewhere like that.
A lot of time, and how happy it must make you to have all of these great stories on the women's tour. The Williams sisters, Hingis, Kornikova. Potentially, Capriati, another big story and a comeback.
Absolutely. I mean, I think she's one of the players to watch, even though she's not a rookie on the tour or anything. It's just a neat story, and everybody loves a comeback.
15.
Tell you what, though, sometimes on the WTA Tour, it's like the soap opera. I mean, right now with Dockett down here, the Australian #1, all sorts of crazy stuff about her and her dad, and accusing the tour of rigging draws and being very uncomplimentary of her opponent, who she lost to the other day. Oy, oy, oy.
That wide, let's be a little more specific. She said to a press person here, which was printed obviously widely, that she believed that the draws were rigged against her after her father had been ejected from a tournament a week before Wimbledon. Which is insane, because the draws are obviously, I mean, they're public.
Yeah, I think Yelena Dockett and her family, are just sort of struggling right now, and that was a big reach. And I think all the players, including Capriati and Van Roost, know that that's not the case.
I think even she has got to know it's not the case. In fact, she's sort of trying to backtrack from the statement now. But it was a big story this morning. Game point, Van Roost, first game, third set.
Oh, the double faults starting to creep in to Van Roost's game. Served a couple in the game where she served for the first set to lose the game, forcing her to break Capriati for the second set. Now double fault number 6.
That is long, and here, break point for Capriati. PGA returns to ESPN, the Bob Hope Chrysler Classic, making its way to the desert. Tune into ESPN. Some of the greatest pro golfers of all time, including David Duval, taken to the links. He's trying to repeat as champion, but you'll have Mario Lemieux there, just by the way. Michael Jordan as well, Bill Murray, and some of the other celebrities of both the sports and the artistic world. Our coverage begins later today at 3 Eastern Time. One to Capriati with a break in the third. Now love 15.
Well,
and in trouble.
We expect this match to have a lot of breaks of serve. Both players like to return serve, and both players can be prone to the double fault. That was only Capriati's third 2 points ago.
Now break points for Van Roost. Yeah, good shot. Again, such a sweet striker of the ball, Capriati. Just watch this two-handed down the line. As she steps into that weight forward, clean as a whistle. Saves two, still break point.
Worst loss I ever had in my career was to Capriati at Sydney about, I don't know, 6 years ago. Managed one game. It was ugly. Whoa!
Unbelievable point. I mean, Van Roost scuttling from side to side, the big power shots of Capriati. Van Roost keeping herself in the point. But watch this.
Didn't overplay it, which was really good. Sometimes you get a little excited when you've had that kind of rally. Both players needing to take their time. Capriati getting back from love 40 to deuce.
Van Roost says I'm a kind of petite person, 5'7", 122 pounds. I prefer to be like I am, she says, but it's a disadvantage on the court. I'm not strong enough to serve the ball as hard as some of the big servers.
No, I disagree with that. At 5'7", I've seen some pretty big servers at that height. Lisa Raymond is a really good one, and only about 5'4", 5'5".
Capriati in a big comeback in that game holds on. 2 games to love, third set. There's Harold Solomon. Oh, man, when I see him, I think about the way he used to run me around from side to side.
You're starting to sweat.
Yeah. Very, very smart player. Kornikova, winner today of a Sverovin Straits. Davenport tested.
Zuluaga, my favorite name on the tour. She went down. Ooh, Van Roost showing a little bit of anger there. Veteran Oremans from the Netherlands with a win.
It's really, how many times do I have to say what a great striker of the ball? But that is really spectacular.
Well, Jennifer Capriati would dearly love to have a second break in this third and final set. 15. That's why you have that reaction there. She knows these points are crucial.
lot of comment. Big point here. Chance for Capriati at 15:30. Men talking a lot about the court speed. Haven't seen that much from the gals, though.
No, but I just thought about the court speed there. You could see how late Van Roost was on that forehand.
That one sails, and Capriati is now in front. 2 breaks for an insurance break in the 3rd set. She won the 1st set easily 6-1.
Capriati, pretty good conversion on the break points, over 50%. I think more on the women's side, they're talking about the balls and how that they're a little bit lighter than previous years, and some of the heavy hitters having trouble controlling the ball, though right now Capriati's not. Maybe on that one a little bit. Such a big swing. If she doesn't time it well, it can really sail away. Put pressure on Van Roost here. Get inside that baseline, threaten the second serve.
A couple of wild ground strokes there from Capriati.
Could be nerves. Capriati hasn't played that many matches in the majors, although she had a pretty good run in the French last year, just the last few years. Only started playing the big tournaments again a couple of years ago.
Three straight unforced errors of the Capriati ground stroke, and now game point for Van Roost. Last game, kind of the opposite story. As Capriati made a comeback from love 40 down. Game point, Van Roost. That is out. Van Roost wins the game, 2-1. Capriati still has the break to serve. Hope you're enjoying this, everyone. I am. Second round in the singles. It has been a beautiful day, and as you can see, the sun edging its way back of those clouds. How nice. This is early evening in Melbourne. Welcome to the Australian Open, everybody. Now continuing highlight coverage here. Jennifer Capriati, 6-1 first set, and Van Roost won the second. Capriati got a break in the third.
Capriati wanted that second break, and here's why. Because Van Roost is so dangerous with her own ground strokes and her own power.
I think you said just a minute ago that there are going to be lots of breaks to serve here. Jennifer Capriati going all the way in the first set. That sails wide. She lost only one game. Van Roost unable to hold her serve in the first set. Then in the second set, Van Roost came back 6-4. Early stages, third set. She's not happy with this one. Let's watch.
Well, with the camera angle, that certainly looked like on the outside of the line, which means there may have been a gap if the camera had been on the other side. Umpire Angie Rasmussen catching it there from Van Roost.
Game point. Capriati holds on 3-1 in the third set. Capriati's coach, Harold Solomon.
Still very involved with men's tennis. I think he sits on the ATP Tour board.
Has done for a while, on and off. He's smart. And he's honest. He's just a great guy. He's a good friend.
Guy last night, Paul Goldstein, from Rockville, Maryland, pretty close to where Harold Solomon grew up in Bethesda, Maryland, my home state. Van Roost, a quarterfinalist here last year. A lot of points to defend. Ooh. Make sure you get out of the way of that rocket from Capriati. Woo! Third ace. Hard and flat. Look at that. You can almost see the print of the ball. Closing in on 50 unforced errors, Van Roost. Capriati still in late 30s at 38.
Break point Capriati. This is for an insurance break. She leads 3-1 now. Husband Bart and Roost's husband. Mon Ami was her name. She was born French. I mean, French was her first language. Then she meets Van Roost. He's built. There's sort of this cultural difference in Belgium between the two languages. And she says she has to struggle with that sometimes. She says, I represent Belgium. Forget, the fact that I took his name.
I'll tell you what, Belgium producing some pretty good young players with Kleisters and Hennen, who takes on Hingis tomorrow night. Ooh. That was a bad play from Capriati because she likes the backhand return and tried to run around and didn't have enough time on a big deuce point trying to get that second break.
Is why beautiful point both players. The clearly Dominique Van Roost may be just a relatively little girl, as she calls herself, but in a rally like that they both hit the ball equally hard. Melbourne, Australia hosts the Australian Open. Sampras may be the number 3 seed at the Australian Open this year, but I would say that he, for the most part, is the strong favorite against Tillstrom today. He showed why. First set, Sampras 6-3. Second set, taken all the way to a tie-break, and he struggled in the tie-break, came back and won that, and then in the third set ran away with it, Pam.
Yeah, I must say, I was looking for Sampras in the draw, went right to the top, and I was like, he's not in the tournament. Agassi's up there. Oops, he's 3 in the world now, but he's playing like he's looking for number 1 again.
And if he wins it, he will have 13 Grand Slams under his belt, and that will be another Sampras record. The end of '98, he was number 1 at the end of the year for 6 straight years. Another Sampras record.
Thank you, Thank you.
The date that Capriati turned pro, that was that Virginia Slims of Florida event. Got all the way through to the finals before losing to Sabatini.
It seems like it was longer ago somehow.
Sometimes when you look back, it seems longer. Other times it seems like just the other day.
He was 13 years old.
Oh! Didn't take much off that return at 30 love. Now 40 love.
Three Grand Slam semifinals in the early 1990s for Jennifer Capriati. She made a move on the tour very quickly.
Oh, wow. 2 double faults in a row. Could be nerves. Double fault number 5. Beat Navratilova at Wimbledon one year in the quarterfinals. That was a big result. Five straight faults for Capriati.
Great match with Monica Seles at the US Open once.
Oh, 7-6 in the third. Wow.
3 in a row, and we are at deuce.
That has to be a worry to a coach. Harold Solomon looking on.
Don't say anything, Harold. You'll get a point. He's not talking to her. He's talking to himself.
Oh, the yips. I mean, really, just a total collapse in this game on the serve.
What do you do in a situation like this, Pam?
You take your time, but Capriati's just speeding through the points.
I mean, can you not just spin it in?
When you have the yips, honest to God, I've had them. It's like you almost can't hit the ball. And then it affects everything else, like right there.
The wheels fell off Capriati's game. Whether that is a permanent thing or not, we will find out. Dominique van Roost with a break, even now 3 games all, third set.
Exactly right. We will see how strong Jennifer Capriati is in the head to try and withstand the damage that last game. Up 40 love, 4 straight double faults. And even if Capriati gets her game together here and breaks, then she has to go and serve again so soon after that total disaster.
Oh, it's catching. We talked about how well she played the French Championships last year, Pam. She won Strasbourg, which was the event before that, so she had an 8-match winning streak. It was her longest since '93.
Lost to Davenport in the 4th round of the French, Capriati did. Oh, my goodness. I mean, just as you said, it's like a bad case of the flu.
We've had 6 double faults here in the last 7 or 8 points.
Not pretty.
Kind of tennis that some of the locals in Ohio can relate to, probably.
.50 on this second serve.
She's going to make it. Very close on the return.
I kind of felt like Capriati was sort of hoping for the double fault. Like maybe she wasn't totally set to play a return.
Good point, Pam. Van Roost holds for the first time tonight, Jennifer Capriati is trailing in this match. How will she respond to all those double faults the last time she served? We'll find out. Mary Pierce is a former winner, Pam Shriver, of this Australian Open, but nobody's talking about her like she's going to win here, albeit she's seeded 4.
Played Emily Cochoteau, also from France. Pierce winning the tournament here back in 1995, beating Sanchez Vicario in the final. Was through to the finals also against Hingis a couple of years ago. So Pierce likes the rebound ace courts and showed it here, winning comfortably.
Mary Pierce is through. Capriati serving. Second serve, first point, trailing 3-4. Survived the first point without a double fault after all those double faults in the last serve game she served.
Only served 2 in her opening match against Barbara Schwartz. So really out of the blue a little bit as far as this tournament is concerned. But in other tournaments in the last couple of years, Capriati can serve well into double figures on double faults.
Total of 7 double faults for Capriati. Van Roost, just by the way, has served 9. (30-15). Double fault, 30-all. This is such a crucial stage. 3-4, third set.
Oh, let off from Van Roost. It was a 3/4 pace first serve because Capriati didn't want to have to think about a second serve. And Van Roost missed it. Game point.
Jennifer Capriati holds on, and she will breathe a deep sigh of relief, and so will he. Beryl Solomon is her coach. 4 games all, third set.
Well, really, anything can happen. I mean, I cannot possibly pick a winner. Van Roost is a seeded player. Capriati's been playing good tennis. She's ranked just outside the top 20 in the world. Seen very streaky play from both players in this match. Can you pick a winner?
No, I agree with you entirely. There are too many ifs, ands, and buts here, and you just... that's what makes this a fascinating match. Agassi, an easy winner today. Shang Shalkin beat Sampras, also straight sets. Are they on a collision course?
I give Van Roost a slight edge because, one, she is serving first, and also because Capriati's letting some things bother her a lot down on the court. Keeps looking up at the chair umpire.
These results that you see here are all from the top section of the men's draw, bottom section of the women's.
Todd Martin was up in that 5th set.
Yeah, serve for it. 40-15. You saw the result there from Chris Woodruff, a winner today over Secular, who is from Australia, wildcard entrant here. I kind of like his chances because I like his draw. He'll play Richard Fromberg next. Game to Van Roost. We're going to take a break now, and when we come back, could be the final game of this match. 5-4 Van Roost. Anna Kournikova, Pam Shriver, is playing a lot better this year than she was last.
Well, it was in the same round last year that she served 31 double faults and still won the match 9-7 in the third. Much more of a routine matter on the show court number 1 today against Zvereva, and I mean there was not a seat to be had in this court. Anna Kournikova, proud favorite, won the first set easily. 6-1, was up 3-1. Things got a little complicated in the second, but came through 6-4.
Can she challenge Davenport?
She's beaten her before, lost to her last week in the semis of Sydney in straight sets, so it really is up to, I think, Davenport. She needs to play a little bit better than she's been playing. Lindsay is off with her return game a bit.
Jennifer Capriati from the side where she served the doubles 2 games ago on her serve. 15, love Capriati.
It's really 2 things that really hurts. I mean, the fear factor of serving double faults, and then you take the speed off, and then you lose the free points on your serve. Although getting one there, a half a one, is a jammer that Van Roost really should have made a play on.
30 love. Dangerous play, drop shot on this court. It sits up. He's got any speed at all, and you're in good shape.
And Capriati has good speed, and Van Roost was behind the baseline, and you can see the height of that drop shot. That is just not going to work. Probably not even on grass. Not at 5-4 in the third.
Another one down the line, clean winner, forehand side. We are dead solid, even 5 games all. Just a reminder, as Harold Solomon watches his Jennifer Capriati. No tie breaks in the third and final set here. "12:30 a.m. We'll continue our live coverage here from the Australian Open in Melbourne, so set your watches, everyone. Featured match will be Leighton Hewitt and Alex Corretja. That's tonight, 12:30 ESPN 2.
Corretja, former top 4 player in the world, fallen off that, and Leighton Hewitt, hottest player on earth. 2 tournament wins so far, leading the ATP Champions race.
Corretja won the World Championship, not this last year, but the year before, over Moya in the final. Why we haven't seen more approaches to the net, and I guess that's the answer, Pam.
Well, Van Roost not very happy up at net. She kind of bails out of this volley, tries a stop-drop volley, and she just does not have the touch. Her game is built for power. She ought to leave this finesse stuff behind.
Okay, now the chance for Capriati. She gave her serve game away. That was 3 serve games ago. But she has clawed her way back, and she's got break points. Second serve. That's risky. But as quick as this court is, that ball stayed so low.
Denise Capriati, Jennifer's mom. Very nervous time for coaches, parents, husbands.
Second serve, break point. Coming to the net again, and again it fails her as Capriati makes the pass. She has broken, and she will serve for the match in a place in the third round of the Australian Open from Melbourne. Stay right there. Lindsay Davenport, USA, number 2 seed, was tested today against a very nice young American player who's still an amateur.
Marissa Irvin, a sophomore at Stanford, came through qualifying. She's ranked 130 in the world and gave Lindsay Davenport just about everything she could handle. 6-4 in the first set, only 1 break. Davenport was able to win through, but trailed 2-5 to Irvin, who then it kind of caught up with her, the situation, and Lindsay Davenport was able to close out things in the second set, but not after some great points like this from Irvin.
Good news for Irvin is that she can play well, and she knows it because she got so close the second set. Bad news is she had her chances today and didn't take them. 6-4, 7-5, Davenport, number 2 seed, is through.
Davenport semifinalists here each of the last 2 years, losing to Mauresmo last year.
My question again, Pam, is why is the Belgian lass Van Roost coming into the net? She's done it 3 times in the last 2 games and hasn't won a point.
I have no idea.
$15-all.
And Capriati would love to see the target up at net any time, and like on that last rally, Van Roost stayed back, and Capriati's got to be nervous. She came up with the unforced error. This is where Capriati not having the confidence to go for her serve is hurting her. That was a first serve, and it was just hit away for a winner.
Uh-oh. Break points for Van Roost. Bart is happy with the outcome of that game. Pam Trover again said there'd be a lot of breaks of serve. You'd expect that, and that is exactly what you have seen. No tie breaks. Third set, we will see this one out. Jennifer Capriati and Dominique Van Roost. Capriati maybe the favored player, but not the seeded player in this match.
I think most of the players felt this match was just dead even. No, you really couldn't pick a winner because, again, both are so streaky, and we've seen both sides, the brilliance and the horrendous play at times. Jennifer has been after the chair umpire, Rasmussen, a lot of this match, or at least a lot of the later stages of it.
She was talking about the line called the Cyclops.
Or the lack of call, not quite sure.
Yeah. 30-15. Ooh.
30.
That double fault makes it 11 for Van Roost against 9 for Capriati. Dead even, 5 games all, 30 all. That's 6 all, excuse me. 40-30.
Seen this inside-out forehand quite a few times from Van Roost. A winner again there.
Little wrist here on that forehand that gives you extra power, but it's dangerous because it can unleash too much power. That's what happened there. Deuce. That one sails wide. Break point for Capriati.
Such a hard shot to change direction. From cross-court, Van Roost trying to handle a lot of pace from Capriati and change it to up the line.
Pressure is on. Ooh, not much concession to the drama of the moment on that second serve, but Capriati with so much firepower, such heavy shots, gets the break. She'll serve for the match again. Early evening, and it is Capriati serving for the match for the second time. 15 love, 7-6 Capriati. First set she won easily 6-1. Second set Van Roost 6-4.
And she led 15 love when she served for it before. Didn't win another point. Oh! What a winner!
Perfect anticipation from Capriati as she scampers for this one. Out of reach. 2 points away.
Ooh, now that was a little nervous serve. She tried to spin it in. See what happens here. See, you can see her action. She is trying to tell herself to just spin it in. Just go up the back of the ball. Come on, it's easy. You do it in practice all the time. You do it in matches a lot. Come on, let's just spin it in.
That's wide, and Capriati has got match points.
Thank you.
I suppose one of the great things about watching and enjoying tennis is when you posed the question halfway through the third set and said, I don't know who's going to win it.
Yeah, I had a slight feeling that it was to the disadvantage of Capriati that she was serving last, but she showed in the end with that ace that even with the 4 4 straight double faults. In the crucial moments of that third set, she was still able to come through. That's a very, very impressive result from Capriati.
The number 14 seed, Dominique Van Roost, is out, and here is that section of the draw completed.
She plays wild card Yi, who won 9-7 in the third today herself. So that is a great draw now for Capriati. All the seeds are out, although Schneider, a former top 10 player, is certainly one to watch.
You would have to go for her to come through in that section.
Has actually been a Grand Slam final. These two as team